In World War I, the warring nations quickly became bogged down in trench warfare, leading to a prolonged stalemate that lasted for 4 long years. This situation mirrors the ongoing debate on social media between atheists and theists. In this video, we will provide solid advice that can help both atheists and theists avoid this quagmire by focusing on the fundamental issue that separates us. And what is that issue? It is the question of which side, atheism or theism, presents the most compelling evidence based arguments for their respective world views. Hi, my name is Todd, and welcome to Mission Millennial Z Alpha Generations, where we share the other side of the creation story with today's youth. So let's jump right into the video. Now, be advised that if you intend to engage in conversations with our atheist friends, you should be prepared. Having just started an apologetics YouTube channel, I quickly discovered, after corresponding with hundreds of atheists, many dodge, however inadvertently, the core issues between us by employing frivolous arguments. So stick with the basics. Traditional atheists believe in naturalism, quote, the philosophical belief that everything arises from natural properties and causes, and supernatural or spiritual explanations are excluded. So let's not haggle. If you don't believe in God or gods, a popular atheist refrain on social media, you are a naturalist. So can we at least agree on that? And we'll get to that a little more later on here. Let the theistic apologist tenaciously lock his sights upon providing the best premise-based arguments for why a supernatural cause is responsible for the beginning of the universe and intelligent life. Insist that your atheist friend present the same for his naturalistic beliefs. Don't get bogged down in World War I trench warfare over the following oft-used diversionary tactics. Number one, theists alone, not atheists, have the burden of proof for their beliefs. I kid you not. I was shocked to find this trope permeating social media groups. To cut to the chase with atheists who take this tact, and there will be many that will, I ask this question: is naturalism objectively true? If yes, you're required to present valid arguments based upon objective facts to prove it. Pure and simple. Sorry, but we just can't take your subjective word for it. Number two, another popular diversion that atheists employ, and it goes like this: but atheism is not a belief system. We just don't believe in God or gods. Good for you. That's your choice. But your sequel assertion that we atheists just haven't seen proof of God's existence may very well be true, but it tells us nothing in the objective realm. Is it possible that you are just ignorant of our best arguments? And if so, why should I be moved by your lack of knowledge of the best arguments for theism? Now, it turns out that many in social media who identify as atheists are actually agnostics. That is, they simply don't know whether or not God exists. So my advice is to use the word naturalism, which leaves less room for equivocation, to bypass silly definitional wars over the word atheism. Now, some atheists, to their credit, don't employ such tactics. They simply engage with your arguments and your requests for evidence. And hats off to them. This video is not for you. Another popular saying, now this is number 3, another popular saying of top atheist debaters is this: theists are atheists too. Didn't you know that? They say, atheists say, you theists don't believe in the millions of gods out there. We atheists are just consistent by adding your God to the list. Now, the case for the existence of the God of monotheism rests or falls on its own merits. Saying atheists and theists mutually repudiate all other gods is totally irrelevant to the question of which side has the better explanation for the beginning of the universe and intelligent life, theism or naturalism. And remember, that's the focal point right there. The fact that there are millions of wrong answers to the question, what is 2 plus 2, doesn't invalidate the one true correct answer. All right, number 4. Perhaps the most popular anti-theism argument atheists use is called God of the gaps, which I consider a straw man argument, though a few ill-informed theists may use it, and I'm certain they do. But why do I consider it a straw man argument? Because we theists aren't arguing that because science can't explain a particular event, God must have done it. Rather, our primary reasons, now catch this, our primary reasons for believing the God hypothesis are our positive premise-based design inference arguments. Secondarily, we simply emphasize atheist appeals to future scientific discoveries when pressed for naturalistic answers, in my mind, a tacit admission of a lack of present evidence, as confirmatory evidence for the validity of our positive arguments for theism. This also fulfills a prediction made by our positive case for theism. Now, hypocritically, atheists are guilty of naturalism, many atheists, not all, naturalism of the gaps. That is, although science can't explain an event, we atheists are still certain science will eventually prove it occurred naturalistically, which is otherwise known as what? Begging the question. As Stephen Meyer said on the subject of the God of the gaps argument, in his highly recommended book, Return of the God Hypothesis, 3 scientific discoveries that reveal the mind behind the universe, he said this: arguments from ignorance, God of the gaps argument he's referring to in his book, occur when evidence against one proposition is offered as the sole grounds for accepting the alternative. They do not include a premise providing affirmative support for the preferred conclusion. The argument as stated does not fail, his argument he's making in the book. The argument as stated does not fail to provide a premise affirming positive evidence for an internal alternative cause. That such arguments for intelligent design necessarily include critical evaluations of the causal adequacy of competing hypotheses is entirely appropriate. Now, time will not permit covering the numerous other diversions out there, like believing in God will destroy the scientific enterprise. I'm sure many of you heard that one. A popular refrain that betrays a flagrant historical ignorance that most of the pioneers of the scientific revolution were Christian theists. Okay? Christians, here's another one. Christians believe in Santa Claus and the flying spaghetti monster. A lot of top atheists even use those canards. Another one. There are so many religions. How can yours be true? Another one. You only believe in God because you were born in the West. Now, note the common thread amongst all these obfuscations is The absence of a premise-based argument grounded in scientific data. This glaring void speaks volumes. Now, however, there are a few substantial arguments made by atheist debaters that should give one pause if you really think of it and analyze them. These are the ones atheists should emphasize and the ones I prefer to engage in. See my Theistic Debate Challenge, where I post my 20-minute first 2,500 word speech devoted to the aforementioned premise-based arguments for God's existence. The link will be in the description. So if you made it this far, thank you for watching this video. And if you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.